A decision from the ICC that dropped like a sledgehammer, formally accusing Netanyahu and Gallant of crimes against humanity and war crimes as it relates to the prosecution of Israel's war against Hamas in Gaza. Applications for arrest warrants against Hamas leaders Yahya Sinwar and Ismail Haniyeh were withdrawn following confirmation of their deaths. Granted an arrest warrant for Hamas commander Mohammed Diab for various alleged crimes in relation to the October 7th attack, including murder, torture and taking hostages, even though the Israeli military confirmed he was killed in an airstrike in July. This was the ICC prosecutor announcing his applications for warrants in May.
I have reasonable grounds to believe, on the basis of evidence collected and examined by my office, that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Minister of Defense Yoav Gallant bear criminal responsibility for the following international crimes committed on the territory of the State of Palestine from at least the 8th of October 2023. The crimes include starvation of civilians as a method of warfare, willfully causing great suffering, serious injury to body or health or cruel treatment, willful killing or murder, and intentionally directing attacks against a civilian population, as well as crimes against humanity of extermination and or murder, persecution, and allegations of crimes of committing other inhumane acts.
The pre-trial chamber also additionally confirmed an earlier decision that it had jurisdiction over the matter after the State of Palestine acceded to the Rome Statute in 2015, granting the court jurisdiction over the occupied Palestine territories, including Gaza, the West Bank and East Jerusalem.
I think there's enough evidence here and enough reason to issue an arrest warrant. And so they have to find, first and foremost, that there's reasonable grounds to believe that a crime within the jurisdiction of the court has been committed. Evidently, the three judges believe that for these three individuals. In international criminal law, that says you have to wait until the war is over and then you can begin an investigation or begin a trial.
The Israeli Prime Minister's office denounced the ICC decision as anti-Semitic, calling the court a biased and discriminatory body, pushing back that no anti-Israel decision would prevent the State of Israel from defending its citizens, while the incoming Republican majority in the United States Senate has already signaled its intentions after Washington's rejection of the court's jurisdiction.
You have the International Criminal Court, or the ICC, and its prosecutor pursuing warrants against Israeli officials. That is outrageous and it is unlawful. The ICC rogue actions are a threat to our ally Israel, and left unchecked, it could pose a threat to America in the future. I am calling on Leader Schumer to bring a bill to the floor sanctioning the ICC, which the House has already passed on a bipartisan basis. And if he refuses to act, our Senate Republican majority next year will.
With vastly different positions emerging from South Africa and the European Union.
The government regards the arrest warrants issued by the ICC for the Prime Minister of Israel and the former Defense Minister of Israel as significant developments. We call upon the global community to uphold the rule of law and ensure accountability for human rights violations. And we also call upon all state parties to act in accordance with the obligations in the Rome Statute.
Is a binding decision, and all states parties of the court, which include all members of the European Union, are binding to implement this court decision.
Indictees now face arrest should they travel to any of the court's 124 member states. Trial chamber's decision, the worlds of Benjamin Netanyahu and Yoav Gallant have suddenly become much smaller, risking arrest from close to 2/3 of UN member states that are parties to the Rome Statute. The court finding reasonable grounds to believe that both Netanyahu and Gallant bear criminal responsibility as civilian superiors for the war crime of intentionally directing attacks against the civilian population in Gaza and the war crime of starvation, among others. Shervin Riceby's SABC News, New York.